Welcome, Hartman heads. That's what we're going to be calling people.
No.
Hartman faces. I think Hartman heads or faces. It's going to be between one of those two things. We're going to put up a poll on Twitter. People get to vote. That's how you get like ownership within the crowd. We're here for some more live coding for PineScript. Should be interesting. All kinds of things floating around inside of my head. Today, I thought it might be fun to hurt two birds with one stone. I'm trying to change the metaphor a little bit. Some people might think that that's worse, but I just want to hurt them. You want to kill them. Hurt two birds with one stone by coding something I've been wanting to have for a while now with working with clients, and that's having a library that handles the buying and selling, the trade execution for any of the strategies that I use. Because I always have to code it from scratch depending on what people want.
Wait, I don't understand this. What you want to what?
When people want to have a strategy built in PineScript, so that they want, like, they have buy and sell signals, and then they want to convert those buy and sell signals into trades, that it actually takes a trade, either for backtesting purposes to see the viability of the strategy on TradingView, or to send signals off to an automated trading platform like Traders Post to execute the trades for them. I always have to rewrite that part of the code each time. And it makes sense because sometimes you have to write it for sometimes someone just wants a stop loss and a take profit. Other people want trailing stop losses, take profit. Some people want multiple take profit levels. Some people want to be able to define it as pips, ticks, percentage, dollar amounts, blah blah blah. Have multiple trades open at the same time, only one at a time, all kinds of different conditions. And so the lazy me always just like wrote it from scratch every single time I was dealing with it. But it might be fun to just have a library that I could toss into anybody's code, and then you just tie in your buy and sell signals, and then it goes ahead and all that is done for you.
Is this something that people
charge a lot more for scripts?
Charge a lot more for? I like that.
Yeah, because it's sort of be like, well, why do I have to pay that much? Well, you're essentially getting access to my entire way of doing these types of strategies, so that you can literally copy and paste that into another script, and then do all kinds of different things. You can copy and paste it theoretically into any.
So this is something you're giving away for free?
Well, I'm going to start building it myself over here. I'm like giving it away for free. As such, I'm going to publish it for myself. People who hire me will be able to get access to that version of the script. And, I'll probably just prune it down to just the functions that are necessary for that person's script. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, but if people are watching this video, then they're going to be able to.
The video, I'm not going to be able to finish it all in one video. That's not all happened in one video.
I see. So then what's the purpose of this streaming stuff? It's just to enjoy watching coding?
Yeah, sort of like an ASMR sort of thing. I don't have the feminine qualities.
Okay. I was worried about what you were going to say just now.
I wasn't going to say feminine qualities. I was going to say something else. Yeah. But I also have to remember other people are going to watch this. So that's a problem. Feminine wiles that would allow for other things on the YouTube stream. I have to use what I have.
Okay, so if you're going to do SMR, we got to see this keyboard. So let's see it.
This is the keyboard.
If we're going to go that route.
Beautiful keyboard. Take a look at that. The back of it is just amazing. We have this Alice. So this is today we're gonna be doing the.
What's that cable? Oh. Wow.
Today's the Alice layout.
Well,
the Keychron Q10.
Look, Tom, we've had the traditional layout for a keyboard for 1,000 years. We don't need new things.
Peter, if I press this button, you're gonna disappear forever.
Oh,
into the void. It's a macro. I never press it. And I put it in a place where I don't press it by accident, but if I did, you'd be gone.
Wait, does that button reveal my Google search history? It makes it public?
No, Peter. No. All right, so it should be fun. And then also maybe we'll take a look at. I was on Traders Post live stream, watching a little bit of the Raoul Pal Banana Zone video that he did with Drinks with Raoul, where quite expectedly he's taking a victory lap with, hey, look, Bitcoin at 90,000. I remember the Peter Schiffs of the world saying that when it got down to 17,000, it's never going to go back up above that. We're headed towards zero. Short Bitcoin if you could do anything at all. Turns out Rob was right. Raul was right. Plus, you have Solana up a huge amount.
Yeah, Solana's rocketing.
Yeah, I still don't like it as much as Cardano. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, you're a Cardano shill, right?
Well, it's just the story. Like, I like the idea that Cardano happened. What happened to ADA? ADA went up like 100% in a month, whereas in that same month, Solana only went up 50%. Is it a failing coin? Is Solana a failing coin? Is Solana a zombie chain? Could be beginning of the end. Now,
They have
granted,
adoption. They have
over
adoption.
the last year, Solana did go up 300%, whereas ADA only went up 92%. But I don't think that really means anything. I think the more short-term performance matters the most, and only insofar as ADA is up. So
yeah,
that's all that really matters.
That's right. Although, I'm hearing rumors about Charles. Not that Charles is leading Cardano, but that Charles is in talks with the new administration. So
I love seeing this. When I open up Twitter and I see Charles Hoskinson there and RFK and he's talking with all the seemingly all the right people. I like that, because when you look back at who in the crypto space was talking to lawmakers over the last few years,
SBF did a great job.
He did a really great job. He really made some inroads. I didn't see Vitalik Buterin. I didn't see whatever the name of the guy who makes Solana is. I saw Charles Hoskinson sitting there representing the rest of us, while people like, who are the Bitcoin maxis that were against?
Max Kaiser, Michael Saylor.
But was he actually at Congress, like, telling them? I think Max Kaiser was telling the congressman, like, don't everything else other than Bitcoin is a spit coin, a feminine wiles coin, and should not be paid attention to.
I don't know what Max Kaiser has been doing. I don't think he's in Guatemala. Where is he?
He's in El Salvador.
El Salvador.
El Salvador. Yeah,
that's right. That's where he is. So I don't think he's talking to anybody there. But we are in the banana zone.
I mean, I don't like the term. I don't know why he had to call it that term.
What do you mean? It's memeable.
Sure,
it's great. The thumbnails are right themselves.
I would have preferred he called it something more catchy, like the asymptote zone.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The approaches infinity but never reaches infinity. I like that sort of like idea to it. Does it feel good to it?
Right. It's very Elon. Were you involved with naming Elon's child?
Zag infinity?
Yeah.
Elon was filling out the form for his children, and he fell on his keyboard, and he was too embarrassed to walk it back. I get that. Just like how in SafeMoon they had the Phoenix project, Project Phoenix.
How is that spelled?
Phoenix with the E and O inverted. Oh. But the CEO of SafeMoon didn't want to admit this mistake that he made to
is it typo
people. Yes.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. And that he just let him know, no, that's what we actually meant. That people were like, well, no, it's a typo. You can just, we're just ribbing you. We know it's a typo. I'll just say it's a typo. No, it's Phoenix. And people go, okay. Like it's because of the secret plan behind it. You guys don't understand. It actually makes sense why people also, what is Project Phoenix? Well, Project Phoenix is about we'll tell you later on. Never found out about what Project Phoenix was. Actually, what it ended up being was wind turbines in Gambia, in the everlasting state of Gambia, and that something to do with mining crypto that way, and that crypto brings banks to the unbanked. I'm pretty original. I've never heard of that ever in crypto space. I've never heard of anyone make that statement, anything like that. And so then it turned out that Project Phoenix made sense, because instead of rising from the ashes, it was a fiery bird that went into the ashes and then never came out of it. So in that sense,
just
Project
any
Phoenix
bird
makes sense.
Just
crash and burn. Yeah.
All right.
It's just like how the guy's starting Fire Festival 2. Have you heard of this?
No. I always thought they should.
Yeah, the same guy is doing Fire Festival 2.
How do you not buy tickets to Fire Festival 2?
I mean, eyes wide open. You know what you're getting into.
I,
If it's not
means
worse than the first one, people will be like,
I think
I
all
trained
the
for 6 months to do this.
I think all the doomsday preppers should show up there with their gear to survive the festival. Like don't go in there like, oh, this is gonna be great. You go in there like to survive. You got your rations, MREs. You got your tents. You've got do your YouTube videos about how to build a fire. I think that's what they should do at the fire festival.
When you said your rations and MREs, I thought these were names of rappers that I didn't know. That I spit about a touch. You got to have your rations and MREs.
A little MRE. Indeed.
All right. Well, let's get to the coding.
Wait, before this coding, aren't we going to watch this video for the banana zone?
Yes. Let's go ahead and do that.
All right. You wanna tee us up for what we're about to see?
So this is Drinks with Raul that happens, I don't know, every so often, where people get to do like an AMA with Raul as he also goes over whatever thesis he was just going on. And this one is about, he's been talking about the liquidity being the core engine of behind the rise in risk assets, certain risk assets that are highly correlated with liquidity. And he put together this model for his Global Macro Investors paper, and he or newsletter, and he shared that out with us non-pro macro subscribers, people who haven't spent $10,000 a month or whatever it is on his report, which is very nice of him. And now he's just where I was in this video is that he was going over that liquidity signal, and then I wanted to see what else he had to say about what's going to come.
All right, we'll put the link in the comments below for anybody who wants that.
It's been spot on, kids. Spot on. Will it always be spot on? No idea. But it tells us that we should be early to mid-December, hit 100,000, and then have a bit of a correction. That makes sense because a lot of people square their positions, take profits, etc. Particularly now the institutions are there, they do their rebalancing. So then let's say we'd have a 20% pullback from, I don't know, 100,000 back to 80,000. And then you have the face ripping rally as everybody comes in with a fresh P&L the beginning of the year. And by kind of first week of January, we just start ripping and it becomes an unbuyable period of the banana zone. Happened last year, actually. So Bitcoin halving seasons, we're in the pinky one at the bottom. It's now in line with the 2016-17 halving, which is, I think, the most likely outcome, and dragging behind the previous halving because the liquidity was front-end loaded because of the pandemic, and then back-end it got taken out early. This time around, it's more normal. It's very similar to 2016 cycle where liquidity was given by the Chinese and the US didn't add enormous amounts of liquidity. Very similar this time around, trading very similar to that time. Here is that cycle versus today's cycle. And as you can see, very, very similar. Right. I'm eating my snack because you got to eat and drink at the same time.
Smart.
Because if not, you become uncivilized too fast in the evening, which I tend to do on these talks, but we'll see how we go. Right. Moving forward. So I'm running so fucking late already. Bitcoin seasonality, blah, 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 up. Bananas. Bitcoin last year versus this year, been playing out very similar. Bananas.
Bananas. I like it.
Ethereum now versus the previous periods is following the last cycle in Bitcoin. Now, whether it gets to the target here, 20,000 ETH, who the fuck knows? Doesn't really matter, but directionally, you can see what happens. ETH should accelerate from here. I'm pretty confident that it will. The other thing is back to the macro, because the macro drives everything. The Institute of Supply Managers Survey, the ISM, that's the guide to the business cycle. You know, how much money is your business earning? How much money are you earning? It's all hidden in that thing, and it's still low, which is why a lot of us feel like, oh, the economy's not really working yet. But the forward-looking financial conditions, which is based about rates and the dollar and oil prices, are forward-looking basis, very positive for the business cycle. So we should see a lot of kind of economic activity and feel-good factor within ourselves ahead.
This is
so that's
what
very
worries
important because
me
it drives
the most. Because in the previous cycle, we didn't have the same inflation concerns. We did have a massive amount of liquidity pumped into the system because of the supply shocks and the lockdowns from COVID. but the dynamics were different. Like we weren't coming, the election sentiment, the mandate from the government, we didn't have that. And so I wonder now what's going on. There seems to be, if I want to make the case for a bull market golden age, I can. If I want to make the case for the S&P down 50%, I can. I can see both of them because the Fed is cutting rates, but yields are going up. Like the 10-year is going up. The 10 years at 4% or whatever it is. That's like nerve-wracking because that means there's billions to trillions of dollars that are saying, well, we get that you're cutting, but in 10 years, inflation is going to be high or higher than it is now. So that's nerve-wracking. You have gold came down, but like not crazy significantly. And that's what when the dollar rises, that means there's generally speaking, it pertains to liquidity constraints that people need dollars. There's not enough dollars, and so what they're doing is buying as many dollars as they can now, causes the dollar price to go up. But normally when that happens, there's less money for other things. It means that risk assets fall. So, S&P, NASDAQ, Bitcoin should fall. It means gold should fall. It means yields should be coming down, right? So if you imagine dollars, dollars is, I think Stephen, shoot, I forget his last name, but the bond king, he calls dollars U.S. Treasuries with infinite maturity and no interest rate, no coupon, which makes sense, right? The dollar is like almost an IOU from the government that's supposed to represent gold, but doesn't do that anymore. So it's like a bond. It doesn't provide any interest, but what you get in return is liquidity. So if the value of the dollar is going up, then you imagine that the value of bonds would also go up because that's a promise for dollars in the future. But what we're seeing is the opposite, that the dollar is going up in value versus other currencies, but the U.S. Treasuries are going down in value, which means yields are going up. So that's strange. I'm not expecting that. And then I would expect if yields are up and dollars up, that gold should plummet. And gold did come back a bit, but not like it did before. And gold goes up when there's concerns with the economic system. So central banks and other institutions will buy gold as a hedge against some problems with the systemic problems with financial institution. We're not seeing that. So I don't know what to make of it.
So you're describing chaos, or there's something that makes sense, but you just can't see it?
Well, what I'm saying is that to compare the cycle that we're in right now with the previous parts in other cycles, I get the desire to do so, and I understand that. In fact, I would say let's go ahead and do that. But there is something fundamentally different about what's going on over now, and maybe that's just what sows the seeds for the crash later on. These crashes always take longer to happen than we think. And maybe that's what we're seeing now, that this is just the beginning. And then in a year and a half from now is when we talk. You remember last year when gold was up at the same time dollar was up? And then this is what it was. Okay. But in the meantime, you don't want to shift it and miss out on all kinds of profits that you can have in the meantime.
You don't want to shift it?
Shift. You don't want to shift it.
Peter Schiff?
Peter Schiff.
All right. So we made it 18 minutes into the stream. And then you mentioned...
Oh, no, I mentioned them earlier on. You must not have picked that up.
All right. Okay, well, that's fun. Are we watching more of this video? Or are we getting
No, let me get to the coding.
Some more goodness.
All right. Actually, I don't need you on the screen there. I could just do... excuse me. You, by the way...
Oh, I should stop sharing my screen. Is that it?
Yeah, why just change everything around? Peter, God.
I just stopped sharing my screen. That's all I did. There's the beautiful chart. So you stare at these charts like, do you dream about charts?
I see everything in charts. I dream of everything in charts. Charts is telling the future. That's what it is.
What's the future you see here?
The euro dollar is bouncing off the bottom, which means that either we're having a short-term bump up, in which case we'll roll lower, which is what I expect, and then because the US dollar is the inverse essentially of the euro, and so if we have this, can you see these marks? I can't see them. So you see this big downtrend that's happening for the euro.
Mm-hmm.
We're headed back down, and this means that the dollar should go up.
Well, that looks like just a classic bull flag, so we're probably ready for a breakout.
That's very funny, Peter. This would be a bull flag. This is a consolidation range here sideways, and we could get a breakout. I was actually expecting a breakout over here. I had purchased some euro over here, but then we thought, wait, is it over there? No, it was over. Where is it? Over here. I had thought this over here was the breakout from this bull flag because I had written it up all the way from over here, and then it just completely retraced down. Down, down, down. So I don't have any floor on this right now. I don't have any downside. And so it should keep on falling. I don't see anything. I don't see any bottoming pattern or anything. So I guess until 2028. We'll see. All right. Let's get to the coding. So I want to build a library.
All right, so you're going to build a library that
there's a version 6? What's this? Is a version 6 of PineScript 6? What is this? I didn't know there was a 6. Did you know there was a 6 there?
The Pine scripting expert doesn't know there's a new version of Pine. All right.
Well, they might. Oh, we have an AI thing, a chatbot in the back over here. Wow, they changed everything today.
We can't really see that part because our beautiful faces are covering it.
Well, you don't really need to. I'm just trying to see if there's any news article. They didn't release any information about it yet. PineScript. Okay, well, it hasn't been released yet. All right, I'll go check that out later. PineScript. I always like the idea of a new version because that means people are going to be contacting me in order to upgrade past scripts, which is great.
All right, tell me again, what are we creating here with this code?
I just need to. I basically want a library of the most common.
Let's start again. Don't start off your sentence with like that. Okay, just talk like a person who, a presenter. Okay. All right.
What I need is someone other than you because I need someone I can respect. Or someone sorry. That's not what I mean. Someone I don't disrespect. I don't even need to respect them.
Well, look, I'm your video editor, and I'm thinking about the clip, and I don't want a clip starting with Okay, so let's just be normal. Think about what you want to say. I'm about to ask you to give me the point of this code because this is where the clip is going to begin. Ready? So, Tom, what's the code you're writing here today?
Well, what I like is to have a set of scripts that I use all the time.
You ruined it.
We didn't ruin it. It's fine.
It's totally ruined.
We're gonna keep it in. We're gonna do it live. We'll do it live.
Oh, so what's this code stuff? What are you writing here? What are you creating?
Well, as a PineScript developer, there's all kinds of functions I have to write again and again and again and again. Some of those functions are for trade executions, for buy and sell signals, and for exits. And so instead of having to write them again and again and again, I thought it might be nice to build a library of these scripts that I can just toss into a project and save me hours and hours of work, and maybe ultimately provide it to people who are my subscribers so that they can also make scripts for other people.
Is this something that's difficult to do?
Difficult for
no PineScript?
No, not difficult. It's just time consuming.
Time consuming. And you're saying this will save you time. Why haven't you done it before?
I kept encountering more new and novel ways that people wanted me to set up these trade signals. So I didn't have a very clear view of, okay, what would be the breadth of it. Now I've done it. Now that I've had this in mind to do for the last year or so, I've been paying attention to what are the functions that people want. And what I've been doing is when I'm building other people's scripts, I sort of like do it in this rote way, the same sort of way again and again until I've gotten to where I am now, where I go, okay, I think I know pretty much all the different patterns that people are commonly going to want.
Gotcha. All right. So you said earlier that this is something that you're not going to be able to finish during this stream. Are subsequent streams going to have part 2 of this, or?
Yeah, probably. Very likely.
So ultimately, if you watch these streams, then you'll get the whole thing.
In bits and pieces, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, I assume that it's not like the difficulty isn't in writing the code for it. It's mostly like if anyone decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and write this library for myself and let me go ahead and do it. It's more that I would want people, if someone was interested in using my library, they would have some reason to expect that there's some quality to it that they can use it. The video can also be used as a nice little marketing material. If anyone like searches on Google or on Perplexity or something like that, in order to get something like this, they'll find my script. And I'm hoping for the accountability of doing it out in public, doing it in a better way, not embarrassing, doing it in a way that could be useful, like actually useful as opposed to just useful for me now. But then I know like in 3 months I might want to change it. So I know I'm doing it in front of other people and for other people. I'll pay more attention to it.
I see. And I do want to say something here. Part of the reason you're doing these streams is you've got a signal that's coming out.
That's right. I have a signal that's coming out. It's pretty good, actually. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty fantastic. It's actually the best signal I've made so far. And my goal is to make. I don't want to just have buy and sell signals. Everyone has buy and sell signals. I want a signal that'll work whether you are a trend follower, a mean reversion, momentum trader, event trader, and the signal works this way, right? So, for example, someone might be a trend trader, and what they want is to capture some uptrend move, but they don't know when that trend starts. They don't know when it's likely to start. So, what happens is that if this move moves, let's say, 20%, they might spend the first part of that move watching to make sure that it made a higher high, that it actually moved up, that broke the previous trend before they got in. So they might lose out on 20%, 30% of that move. And then they might not know when to get out at the end. So they might get out early and then miss out on a bunch of it. Or they get out too late after they've given back some gains, so that they're only getting part of that trend. Or for people who are doing mean reversions, momentum, they don't necessarily know. They might have a signal that helps them know this is when the signal is showing here that there's a possibility that the trend might change at this point, or that we might pull back to some sort of mean, but they don't necessarily know what distance that might go, right? And then other people they might have an idea of the trend of the mean reversion, but not when to get, like the timing to get into the trade, or how much risk they can take, or how much volatility there'll be. And so the signal that I'm developing right now, where I'm at right now, is that it'll tell me basically around what time I should get into the trade within a couple of hours, hour window to get into the trade, from where to where I should expect the price to go. So not just that, oh, we're mean reverting, but we might be mean reverting. Like a price can mean revert on a short time frame, medium time frame, long time frame, and it's important to know, right? And depending on that mean reversion, how big that mean reversion is, well, that might be a new trend. It might be a mean reversion, but it might be a mean reversion over the next 3 months, in which case you have a 3-month trend you can be in.
Right.
And so if I give a signal to sell at a certain point, people who are doing for mean reversion could enter into the trade, and they could have a sense of, hey, I shouldn't exit the trade yet because the signal I haven't hit the level that Tom is talking about, and that I might have more to go. They might say, hey, my signal goes, there's only a low conviction level at this point. So they'll be like, okay, I'll take the trade, but I won't take it too big, or I'll only hold it for a short period of time. So that's where we're at the moment with the signal, but I want to get it better still, because my goal is to be able for people with leverage to be able to trade these things. Because in a lot of scenarios, you might have a signal that's a good signal, but you don't know if you can get into it with 2x leverage, 50x leverage, 100x leverage. You don't know, because even though you might say, oh, I'm willing to take this much risk, well, if you have too much leverage, you'll get liquidated. Like if the price pulls in the opposite direction, you might want to hold it for longer, but you can't hold it here. Or
So
let's say you're doing prop firm trading, you can't take that much risk. You have to understand how much risk am I actually taking. So I'm trying to calibrate it for that.
So it'll be calibrated for a specific level of leverage, or just any kind of leverage?
I'm trying to get the maximum amount of leverage possible, but also that when the signal is sent, it lets you know, because of the price ranges that it's giving you, it's letting you know to what degree you can take a risk. So I might not specify a specific level, but if I go, hey, this position is likely to suffer a 10% drawdown, then someone goes, well, I could only suffer 5% drawdown, so then they won't take the trade.
And the signal will tell you that.
Yes.
And this signal, is it for a specific strategy or is it a signal for all strategies?
It's a signal that can work for any strategy. Well, any strategy except no, it works for event driven. It works for it won't work for new assets. So companies that newly IPO'd because they need history, newly IPO'd, or for cryptos that are just launched, it won't give any. I mean, it'll give a signal, but there's no way for me to give any conviction on that.
All right, so I'm not a trader, but I do have this question about your signal. So it sounds like what it does is that it gives you an earlier warning as to what's going on and insight of how to place the trade, like how much leverage, how long this will last, short term, medium, and long term. So it's about giving you a head start.
Correct. I want basically the most accurate directional signals as possible. I don't really want to build them as trade signals because I might give you a signal now and you might get the signal at 7 o'clock, but you might feel that, oh, I should really get in at 9 o'clock. The chart now moved into the setup that you're expecting. Where someone else might be like, oh, I'm in this for long term and I'm using Tom signals to know when to buy the dips. So I don't care if it's gonna be volatile in the other direction because I'm just buying a dip. So,
And do any other signal groups do this?
other signal groups, from what I've seen, I've tested dozens of other signals, and what they do is they'll give you a let's say they're not giving you a trade signal. A bunch of them will give you trade signals because that's what normally people are looking for. But let's say you're looking for trend. Oftentimes the trend has already started before you get that signal, or if it's trying to get in beforehand, there's no the methodologies that they're following in order to be able to detect the trend or reversal is not accurate enough. Like it's more like guesswork. And so you go, oh, this is 60% accurate, but you're like, sure, if you flip the coin, you get the same level of accuracy. Here, when I'm providing a signal, I know why the signal is done in this way, and if it's shot the gun too early, if it's too late, I can get a sense of I have a way more accurate sense as to why this is happening. And if the signal fails, this is what I realized the other day. If the signal fails, I know why. It wasn't some random thing that happened. I know why that signal failed.
And are you going to tell people why? Like,
No,
but you'll improve your signal.
accordingly, exactly.
And how can somebody get this signal?
At the moment, you're gonna have to. I'm only taking people who are contacting me directly. I want a certain type of personality at the beginning because I am providing it for free, but I want feedback from the people that I'm dealing with. And so it's important that we can actually communicate and that you're going to be trading and stuff like that. And for the moment, I'm only releasing it for cryptocurrencies. Later on, I'll do it for equities and for commodities and stuff like that and for Forex. But for now, I'm just doing it for cryptocurrencies. So in exchange for someone signing up as an affiliate for a crypto platform that I deal with, for a BitGet, you can get the signal. And the benefit for you is that you get it for free and you get someone to bounce the ideas off to get more feedback from, as opposed to just some service that you purchase and you don't know what's going on. And what I get in return is that as an affiliate, I get some kickback my way to make it worthwhile for me to continue the project. So I really want people who they want a long-term relationship with somebody that's going to help them generate the best signals they can.
Should they contact you? How should they contact you?
They can message me on the channel. They could go to they can email me at sacredprofit.com. That's fine. But
What about X?
yeah, absolutely. You can tweet to me at Sacred Profit, and
there
soon
you
I'm going to be having a Telegram group that people can.
They're going to X you. We don't say tweet.
It's
All right.
Twitter X.
Elon is president. So
No, it's Twitter X. We decided as a people that we're saying Twitter X.
all right, so they can reach out to you on Twitter. They can contact you, sacredprofit.com. The signal is free, but there is an affiliate thing going on there.
Exactly. I have had people who just offered me money to begin with. Not interested.
What's the success rate of your signal?
Right now, it's 86% accurate.
86.
86% accurate, yes. And can generate a profit. I trade with significant leverage, and so you can make significant profit, but obviously you can lose. So it depends on what kind of risk you're willing to take, and it's not doing any trades for you, right? So you can still be your worst enemy, like I am for myself, and you can lose money that way. But if just trading the signal on its own, it works 86% of the time, and it's like the I also remember the Denethor quote from Lord of the Rings when he says, because he sent Faramir away from Minas Tirith to go fight, and he goes, "Would you accept your son back if he returned?" And he says, "It depends on the manner of his return." And that's what happens with these signals. Like sometimes the signals are dead accurate, but before it went down to that place, it took some major detour, liquidated everybody, and then got back. And so my signal just says that the price is over here, and it should touch over here in this period of time. That's what it says. Some of them are open-ended. Some says it's going to touch there at some point, and then it does touch there at some point, but it might be 2 weeks from now. But it does actually get to that level, which is great for long positions, unleveraged long positions, because you're like, oh, I'm worried, but then it actually goes and touches that level. But for short positions, it can be pretty painful because you get liquidated 10 times before you actually get down to the point. The thing is, if you continued my signal, if you continue to take the bet on it, chances are, and let's say you martingaled it and you doubled your bet every single time that it failed, you doubled the bet, you failed, you doubled the bet, you'd actually end up with more money by the end when it actually did get to that level. But I ain't making that promise yet with 86% accuracy, because that 15% can ruin your entire life.
Are you trading the signal?
Day, all day, day.
Are you making profit?
Yes. So I was able to. It was the first time I could reliably and predictably double the value of an account. So I was very surprised with that. That's why I'm deciding to put out the signal to other people, because I've developed other signals in the past that are okay, they're good, but this one was like, to know the date and time of the trade and like a window for when it should actually succeed, or sometimes to the price tick, I know where the chart is going to go to. That to me Peter feels better than winning any money. Any money at all.
Well, I'm glad you're happy about that. Okay, I guess we'll hear more about the signal in subsequent streams. I am very interested in the signal group and what you get from that. But let's leave that to the side for now. On to coding.
Perfect. All right, setting up some simple buy and sell signals here. Sometimes I love the idea when I'll set up like a very quick buy, sell signal or whatever, and then the results in the strategy tester are better than other strategies they've seen. I go, wait a second, what am I doing here? What's going on?
I'll be honest with you, every time I watch these YouTube videos of traders and make money and this signal that, I always wonder, like, if you're making money off of that stuff, why are you on YouTube making these damn videos?
Because there's great ways of losing your money. Like, I'm really good at following my signals for it to go well, and then I'm really good at losing all the money because I'm like, let me try something else. Because I think to myself, well, I was so good at getting the signal to begin with, maybe if I do this, it'll be better. Maybe if I do that.
Yeah, but once you just strictly follow the signal, don't do anything else, get your 86% and win.
Why are there fat doctors? I don't know.
So all you YouTubers are fat doctors? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
In my mind, you selling the signal is, and if it's a good signal, then you'll make a lot of money that you can then trade with. That's what I think is the honest answer.
To me, it's all about accountability. I like the accountability of, if you sell to other people, then you have to actually spend the time and do it properly. There's plenty of things that we all know we can do for ourselves, but we don't do it unless we have other people who are dependent on us. And that's how I feel.
And that's why men should have children.
Exactly.
You're not going to.
Otherwise, all we do is succumb to feminine wiles while we play Xbox.
The best is if you find a woman that you can succumb to, but they also don't want to have children, then you ain't making it anywhere in life. That's it. You are a dead end. Of course, I'm joking. All right, just calm down, everybody. But Trump did win the election, so political correctness is over.
It's out
It's
the window.
finished. We're done. We're done with that. Now we can get back to making jokes about. Anyway, let me not.
These
Let me not
dumb
ruin-
feminine
get your channel
wiles.
canceled. You and these feminine wiles business. Okay. What about the masculine wiles? The toxic masculinity wiles.
It
right?
can't be toxic because
All
there would
right.
have to-
All right.
no, you don't understand. Sorry, there would have to be a masculine behavior that was not toxic for it to be worthwhile. Because otherwise, it's just redundant. It's just masculinity.
You're
There is
saying
no non-toxic masculinity, and so that's just what masculinity is.
wait. What makes you say there is no not? Okay. This is not. I want to talk about this, but this is not. The place to talk
It's
about
not whether masculinity is toxic or not. It is. It's the amount of it that you need. It's sort of like homeopathy, where a little bit of poison in some sugar water can really help you out, but too much of it kills you.
that. Okay. All
That's
right.
what it is.
I'll just leave it there.
It might be a little bit too complicated for you.
Yeah. The more I talk about it, the more you'll talk about it, which is
Not a good thing.
yeah. I mean, we're in Canada, so
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's Trump's world now, Peter. He said he was going to appoint someone else to be prime minister of Canada, so I think we'll be good.
Is he getting rid of the Federal Reserve?
No, he's not getting rid of the Federal Reserve. He can't get rid of the Federal Reserve
Why not?
because they're not under the purview of the U.S. government.
Yeah, but there is some type of law that can be changed where the Federal Reserve will no longer be allowed to issue currency.
Okay, now you do want us to get canceled off of YouTube.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, we're gonna know where our bread is. You think this chart is measuring something other than the Federal Reserve, Peter? It's my bread and butter.
So what is this? What am I seeing here? What are you adding?
I just put buy and sell signals on the chart, and now I'm starting to do trades, the trade setups. So I'm just doing super basic entries for buy and sell positions, as well as the inputs for them. And I'm going to be setting up basically the settings for entry conditions and exit conditions. And then after that, I'm going to tie it all together.
Right.
So I will set the trade direction. You can do a little beatboxing while I'm doing all this.
I'm enjoying the ASMR of it. We gotta let those beautiful keyboard sounds play for a bit.
All right, so I'm trade both a long, short. Oh, I should have first backtest range. Oh wait, I have the script already. Let me go get it. If I sing "Let It Go," do I get copyright struck?
Yes.
Oh. I see. All right, never mind that.
I'm not exactly sure about that, but we don't need that because you could get copyright stricken, even though it's not legit because of Content ID. But you can cover songs. So, but I don't want you to sing it. So yes, you will get your channel taken down.
Well, it's playing in my heart, so I don't know if that bothers you. All right. Back test. There. I don't have to rewrite that whole thing because I do it the same thing all the time. Copy, paste. There. Now I have to repeat view. Yes, backtest. Also want. Do I want trading sessions? I do want trading sessions. Do I have that done already? No. So let's set that up. I have that somewhere else. Oh, I know where. What was it? Right. I should rewrite it. I don't like the way I wrote it last time. So backtest, trade entry conditions. Oh wait, no, I do have it somewhere else. I guess this is going to be a copy paste stream, Peter. This was going to be a copy pasting stream.
By the way, I'm hearing some type of. I think there's an auto gain feature in this tool that we're using because when you speak quietly, the volume raises up and I hear the ambient noise stronger.
Oh, I see.
Let me see if I can turn that off here. I don't know if you have it access in your settings, but
You said okay, so auto gain.
it gets loud.
Noise suppression. Reduce background noises during the stream. We recommend keeping it enabled unless you have.
No, click on more, and it's auto gain control.
Oh. All right. Is that any better?
Well,
Am
I
I
mean,
too loud now?
keep speaking. Say something interesting though.
Something interesting though. I nailed it, Peter. You didn't even see that coming.
Do you have access to your volume control?
For
Like
my focus, right?
No, like in Restream.
Sure.
It sounds good to me. It sounds good to me. It's fine. Continue.
Okay.
You had an interesting stream on Traders Post where you were talking about tariffs.
That was fun. Oh my god, I hope that wasn't too wonky. God, I love talking about there's an episode of
Okay, you are a little loud. Do you have you can just turn it just slightly.
there was an episode of
No, too much, way too much.
too low?
Yeah, way too low.
Oh, I barely touched it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, put it back to what it was. Go ahead.
There was an episode of News Radio where that we watched when we were 12, 13, whatever, 14, and Lisa Miller, who's the nerdy wonk of the office, someone was asking her, oh, she never had a TV before, so she got a new TV, and she's like, oh my god, I spent all night watching like financial committee Senate hearings on budget
right.
allocations, and she was like, "Can't believe this is on TV. This is amazing." I remember at the time being, who would be interested in that, financial conditions and policy over macroeconomic and microeconomic trends within the given population. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going over reports and documents and going through all these different things, going, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Yeah, you seem
They're using
to,
a polynomial regression on the data. Oh my god, I know exactly. Oh, I'm going to recreate that so hard. It's fun.
is that how you got up to date on these tariffs?
Peter, I had automatically assumed that the tariffs were bad.
Did you just copy and paste something into that code?
I did. I've been copying and pasting all kinds of things.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, let us know what's going on here.
I mean, I said it before. You just weren't paying attention.
I don't need
So
your
this would be a
attitude.
copy and pasting stream, not a coding stream.
But yeah, I didn't realize how much you'd be copying and pasting. So what are you copying and pasting? You already have this all written?
Peter, if you remember my story at the beginning, I was saying that what I do is that I end up rewriting the same sort of code again and again and again. And over the last year, I've just been doing the same sort of thing with interpretation of Dumas library. And so I do have some of this code already written. So forgive me if I don't want to.
Well, look,
restart.
I'm just trying to put myself in the mind of a coder who's watching this stream, and they're looking at the code, and they don't know how you got from A to Z.
Fair
Or is
enough.
that not the point? I guess it's not a tutorial.
No, it's not a tutorial.
It's just to show how good you are at coding. How good are you at coding PineScript anyway?
People ask me that. I've honestly, Peter, I've heard the word thrown around like genius and one of the best. No, Peter, don't laugh. Honestly, you've been there when people say that. And so
people are saying.
Yeah, so I'm going to do entry conditions. Peter, honestly, you've heard people say that about me. I think you've even heard it on stream. Micah said it.
I'm not going to acknowledge that publicly. It's never going to happen.
Fair enough. If the shoe was on the other foot, I certainly wouldn't say it.
To me, like if I actually, Tom, if I have to be absolutely 100% honest, and this is actually the truth, like it's not a joke, you are, from my perspective,
Oh no,
an average coder, like literally the average,
I can accept that.
because you're the only coder, Pine coder that I know. So by definition,
I'm the mean. I'm the
you're
soul
the
mean.
mean. You're the norm.
Now let's go with 12. 15. Then
Actually, I have heard other Pine coders talk, and they say, "Wow, Tom, what are you doing? Oh, you're so good." I don't like it. I don't like it, but
I don't like I don't like it at all. Not having that. Okay. Hey, wait, can I have drawings in a library? I guess I could do it this way first, and that's not a problem. So let's do trading session. All right, so this is a piece of code that I use for the trading sessions. Wait, where did I put the other one, the backtest one? Oh, I see. I should not have done that.
you made a mistake.
No, I just didn't set it up the way I would normally set it up.
And why isn't AI being used for some of this stuff? I feel like there's got to be some place here for AI. Can't you
I
just
keep
take all
waiting.
the copy and pastes and? No, I mean, can't you just take this code, take your copy and paste, and be like, Jupyter, I want you to merge this and create this and yada yada, bam, boom, boom.
I found that it's not any faster, and then it introduces problems, and then I have to fix. Like it's not like other like for the text where I could reliably expect, oh, this is done properly. It's actually quite annoying. I would prefer that it was that way, but
Isn't that
because
just prompt engineering.
well, the AI is not trained on. It doesn't have access to all the different errors and all the different way it looks. It doesn't have access to serious information. It's not like other programming languages, so it can't like intuit. It can't anticipate the next token accurately enough in order to rely on. So it can do simple things. If people have published these sorts of script in the past, it can do those things. But it like you can't easily build a library like what we're doing right now. Okay. Why do I always forget the time zone? Where did I want that? Yeah. Time zone. So is back test. So I'm here just setting up what I normally do for back test ranges. So here it'll let me know when. It should be purple for when. Do I not have the back test range up? Use back test. Let's do -5 where real people live. When I have to deal with people in time zones and other places, and I'm like, oh, can you give me your time zone to my time zone? Excuse me, I'm on the East Coast of the Americas. We're the real Greenwich time. You crazy? +11. What the hell are you? +11 UTC. Get out of here.
Who lives in UTC? Like who lives in the?
I think that's Australia.
What? No, that can't
Excuse
be.
me?
It's got to be London, no? Isn't it London?
No, London's +1. So let's
Oh.
go. Excuse me.
Well,
I'm not
Australia.
converting my time to here. How about we all just use UTC? I go. Nobody lives in Greenwich. Okay, nobody lives there.
Somebody must.
No. All
That's
right?
what makes it fair.
New York, Montreal, Florida, where real Americans live.
We're not Americans.
We are Americans. We're just not United Statesitarians. We're North Americans.
So you
We're
like
from
to
the
just make
Americas.
things complicated for no reason.
I feel like being the you see that clip going around with the people in the New Zealand Parliament, the Maori ripping up down the paper, and they're going around doing their
No.
dance. Oh, you haven't seen this?
No, I haven't.
What I find funny is that they're like, "Oh my God, look at this! The indigenous people standing up for their rights and looking for equality." But I think they're protesting that the government was trying to make it so that because the Maori has special rights, they wanted to make it so that everyone has the same rights.
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, no, you are below us. You are lesser than us.
Okay.
You can cut this out. You can cut this out. You can do it up there. That's fine. You can do it.
Ixnay on the Chagantanging A. Okay.
I'm a minority. It's fine. You know,
You're not enough of a minority for that song. Thank you very much.
I'm not. Wait, this is. Oh, right. Oh, right. I used to do you that way. Okay, so do I want this? Do I want the background to be colored outside or inside? Okay, I guess outside's fine. All right, trading sessions. Do I have where are my trading sessions at?
No. Don't try to make this cool. It's not cool.
Yup. Trading sessions in the house. Do, 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 do. Why do I have them short? How much you on? Both.
Do you think America is going to make Bitcoin a reserve asset?
Yeah, why not?
Like, what do you think the likelihood that happens?
100%.
Really?
You just mean, is it going to be done within the Trump campaign?
Yeah.
That I think is maybe 70%. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? What's the downside?
Well, doesn't it kind of undermine your currency?
What? No, it strengthens your currency to have assets.
No, I mean, people will start using those systems, those payment rails more, and use the traditional ones less.
That's not what's happening with gold. Gold's a reserve asset, and they don't do that.
Well, you can't transact in gold.
Exactly.
But you can transact in Bitcoin.
I understand. I mean, you could transact in gold.
No, but
don't do it.
The feasibility of doing it with the gold is monumental. Is weak.
Bitcoin could be a reserve asset, but still come with a capital gains tax for selling it. You're talking about it for it to be a legal tender.
No.
Well, then it's not a problem.
I'm just talking about making crypto more attractive to people. If America buys in and all the other countries buy in, game theory style a la Max Kaiser, well, then you're going to have a lot of people going, oh, I should pay more attention to this crypto, do more things in there, and then they'll be exiting the standard system to some degree.
I mean, the only way that works is if, in the way that you're talking about, is if people can pay their taxes in Bitcoin. If they can't, then there's no problem. It will be just like if someone were to accumulate gold.
All
right, how long, how short.
I guess you're good at pine coding, but you can't be good at everything. So I forgive you for being wrong.
That's true. I'm not good at loving my wife less. I find it very difficult. You're good at it, but I find it so hard. It's so difficult. I just love her so much. Peter comes over the other day. He goes, "Why is your wife's picture on your phone as a screen?"
I look at his phone and his wife's picture full on right there.
What's happening here?
It's not even his kid. It's just his wife.
Like, what are you doing? What do you mean?
It's like you work from home. You see her all the time. You need her face on your phone?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Nobody should love their spouse that much.
Oh, shoot. It's already been an hour. All right, Peter. I can't continue this here. I have a meeting that starts relatively soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been fun.
Well, it was
so you got some good clips out of this?
Yeah, I'll get one clip.
Pretty solid.
Cut around your racism a bit, but
free stream. Don't cut out the racism. Are you kidding me? The whole reason I'm doing my own stream is for that.
I'm saving you from yourself. Okay, I'm saving you from yourself.
Why does everyone keep saying that to me?
So what can we look forward to next time? Are you continuing this, or are you going to do something more interesting? I mean,
yeah, I'll probably continue this. I really want it done. I'm tired of redoing it again and again and again and again.
I want to talk to you about the content that you have on your channel when you have time today. I think, given what you did over at Traders Post with the tariffs thing, I think you should do more of a talking to people, macro perspective, crypto perspective.
So I was
Sure.
gonna do Tim Dillon with shades and like hat. Like, what's going on here with these tariffs? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? And then you'll still be there, but you have to make your mic sound like you're far away.
No, RFK is appointed to HHS. Yeah, no, but I think you definitely have some chops there. You know so much about the market; it's kind of nuts. And given what I've heard from other people, it doesn't even matter if you're wrong. You don't have to be right. You can be wrong. You can be right. What matters?
You could
is that
even
you-
like Peter Schiff be right once 20 years ago, and then just write that.
Why you got to dunk on that guy? Okay, he is right. The financial institution is a house of cards. and
Okay,
it will
but we all
fall
know
over.
that.
Hmm.
They passed the House of Cards Act in 1971, and we get that. We get it. House of Cards. Was he not around when they took away gold as the gold standard? And people were like, hey, what's going on? You're building the House of Cards. Like, yeah, it's the House of Cards Act.
Hey, do you think that if they I actually had this thought that they would, make Bitcoin a reserve asset. Do you think there'll be a 1971 for Bitcoin where they seize everybody's Bitcoin?
No. Why? Wait, why would they make it a... No, Peter. What they seized was gold as legal tender.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take everyone's gold away
No, but you can actually use gold coins for
to
To
transact
transact.
legally in commerce, yes.
yeah.
But they didn't take everyone's gold away.
Well, they didn't take the gold away, but you couldn't bring your notes to the bank to redeem your gold.
Right.
So they took your gold.
No, what they did is they offered people a certain amount of dollars on the ounce in order to do it. And some people did it. Some other people just kept their gold. I mean, they did make it illegal, the whole gold, but it wasn't like people going door to door. I mean, sure, a few people were made examples of in order to scare the populace in order to do it. But technically speaking,
Okay.
it's like how 20% of Americans don't pay taxes.
So could they do that for Bitcoin?
Well, why would they go through all that trouble and then first make it a reserve currency and then do that? Like, why would they do that?
So they could seize it. So they could profit from just the same reason they did the gold thing.
No, but the gold was useful in and of itself, right? If they seized all the gold, it was still useful, valuable in and of itself. The Bitcoin is only valuable if other people use it. So if they seized everyone's gold, everyone's Bitcoin, it would become useless.
All right, good. So nothing to worry about.
Why are you worried about something that was obviously created by central intelligence agencies in order to manipulate the population for the next 100 years? Peter, this is the new situation. Get away from the old situation. Hop on board the MI6 CIA money.
I'm all for it.
The problem only happens 3 turnings from now, Peter. But now we're headed into the high. First turning's coming, buddy.
Golden age, baby.
Golden age.
All right, cool.
All right, it's been fun. All right, so everyone, thank you for watching. And God, chat's blowing up. Chat's blowing up. Oh my God, Bitcoin chat's blowing up. It's amazing. All right, and I go
We can get to everybody's super chat today. We're really sorry about that, but really happy that you're supporting the show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we'll be back here every single time that we're on. We'll be back, and you can count on that.